Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Christian, Tammy here, coming to you live from Daytona Beach. Beautiful day today. I think we're going to be hitting, remember, I'm in Celsius here, 26 degrees. What is that in Fahrenheit for American folks here? That would be, I don't know, 76, 80, something like that, 82, 83. Apologize, I'm on the metric system here. So, folks, this morning we want to work with you in reference to getting you started if you're brand new in GotBackup. In the same time, we want to show you, all the benefits of the reseller tools and give you a little bit of an orientation and what are the best thing to start your business so you can start earning an income right away. But before we begin, Tammy, let's welcome everybody here that joined us this morning. Bakshir, great to have you here from Bangladesh. I know that you follow us everywhere. Really appreciate you. Robert Bakley, was really nice meeting you again when we were in Texas. Great to see you here. Let's see here. We have Chekas. Great to have you here. Welcome, welcome. Let's see. Just going through some of the repeated names. Kareem, great to have you here. Inionam from Accra, Ghana. Welcome, welcome. Yvonne, welcome. Great to have you here. Melanie, great to have you from the UK. Beautiful. Kim, welcome. We're a neighbor. Let's see here. Scott, I love what you wrote here. Good morning from the Bermuda Triangle, waiting for the Gulf Coast, the Coast Guard, and I'm in the I'm
pick up a coffee surrounded by sharks. That's so cool. Now that's living the life.
Absolutely love that. Esther, welcome from Accra, Ghana. We have here Camona, great to have you here from Maryland, and we have David from the Philippines. Great to have you here, David. We have Darlene's from Southern Indiana. Great to have you here. We're Corny. I know you're in Ontario, Canada. Welcome, welcome. We have Naid. Great to see you here. We have let's see here. Let's see. Azimbia, great to have you here. Yeah. And we have Nahia, I think I'm going to mention you. CC Liu, great to have you here from Vancouver, Canada. We have Horacio from Arizona. And, I could go on and on and on here, folks. So that's why it's important to come here bright and early so I can catch your name. So let's get started here, Tammy. And let's kind of start sharing my screen so everybody can see what's going on. Just one moment.
Yeah. So today's session is the orientation in your back office. And there's always things happening, always things evolving and growing. So it's important to be up to speed on things that are happening. We're going to go through some of the basics with you, and feel free to hop in and orientate yourself with the things that are upcoming. we are so excited. I don't know if we can share this, Chris, but Joel shared something with Chris and I yesterday, and oh my gosh, it is going to take your businesses to a whole new level. We're
Oh
just so
man.
blown away on all the things that are evolving with Got Backup, and we're super super excited.
Yeah, I love Joel's brilliance. I mean,
Yeah.
that's his forte. This is what he does. And there's a brand new funnel that's going to be added on to your reseller tool. We can't talk about it right now. It's just really exciting, and folks, I think you're going to love that. It's going to reach a huge audience out there. So let's begin. So right now, folks, if you see my head turning left or right, it's because I got a couple of screens and I want to look at you when I speak to you, but then our tools is on the right hand side. Okay, or I should say my screen. So what's really important here, as you log in, you'll notice here that this will be the name that you see here. Yes, I know. I'm a Star Wars fan, folks. so
Yoda.
Yoda is going to be your ID. Okay, so this is your ID. .godbackup.com. You can log in without your ID because just eventually when you log in, obviously it'll have your information when you put in your login details. But just so you know that if you're providing a link to someone that's interested, just make sure that your ID is here. Now, by default, it should do like I didn't put Yoda there. It's kind of automatic, but I just want you to be aware of that. Okay. The other, and if you have any question, folks, we'll do our best to answer them. And remember, we're not customer service here. We are associates, field associate, just like you, but we just are committed to help you elevate your business as we have done for ourselves. And that's so just keep in mind that we don't have corporate and customer service answers, but we will do everything we can to answer in reference to building a business, utilizing the tools and everything else. Okay, so let's carry on. So on that note here, what I wanted to mention is let's say you want someone is really interested right away to sign up on the spot. They're very keen on this. One thing that you can do, you can certainly send them that link. Okay. And then they can go ahead and click on get started. And this video is really good. I recommend you spend a few minutes looking at the videos that are available in your back office and in the front. And the reason why it's because these videos could actually be a great tool for you. If you're aware they exist and you know the content of these videos, when you speak to someone that has a relevant to what the video talks about, you know that it could be a great tool for you. So that's why I'm saying be aware of your surrounding, of the tools that are around you. Okay. Now, one thing that I do want to mention, sometimes our credit cards, the expiry date changes or the date changes or whatever the situation may be. The numbers change because you change your credit card, and what's happening is you forgot where they were used, because I know it happens to me, and you can't log in for whatever reason. You can use this live chat here. If you click on this, you'll be able to start a conversation. It may not be live, but they will get back to you. They will contact you. Okay. Because obviously, everybody's in business to also be profitable. If someone wants to add their credit card and fix things, obviously they want to help you, right? So just common sense. So this is what I wanted to mention. So if if you forgot your password, your ID, or something like that, use this link here from the main website. You don't need to be logged in for that. The other thing I want to mention, obviously, there's some good information here. And just so you know that the information on this site has great insight for you to sell the benefits if you're talking to a prospect. Okay. And you'll notice here that,
Or simple copy and paste to do some AI stuff.
yes,
Use Chat GPT for sure.
absolutely, Tammy. And from there, here's are the prices. But here's something I want to share with you. You know, the moment people have to click somewhere, right away, you lose 50% of your prospects if you're prospecting online. Okay. So if I'm going to send someone a link for someone that's interested to get started, I don't want him to go all over the place to start clicking everywhere. I want him to go right to the purchase. Okay, to make the purchase. So I recommend you click on get started today. Look what's going to happen. If you look at the address bar over here, there will be a few more parameters. These are words that are going to be added on. So check this out. I click on that, and you see these words are added over here. Okay, and what happens is when you provide this link with these words here, it tells the person whenever they click on that link to land right over here. You see? So it cuts out all this stuff and it gets right into the meat and potatoes. And obviously, I prefer the yearly package, folks. And the reason why I prefer the yearly package is we know that if people buy every month, there's always things that can happen, the credit card expiry, lots of things. When you're dealing with the general public, it's a given that some people credit card won't go through in that particular month for whatever reason, and that kind of interrupts the business a little bit. That's why I like the yearly plan. But if someone wants to pay monthly, it's totally cool. I just say as a business strategy, and that's our call here. This is the purpose of this call. We want to help you kind of maximize your results. So I recommend a year for package, and there's a benefit. You get 2 months for free. Okay, and is that okay, Tammy, for me to click on that just to show folks what it looks like?
Oh, for sure. And if by chance, because you're going to have people that just, they're maxed out, but they want to get started. So you don't want them to wait to come up with the money to join for a year. Get them in for the $9.97,
Correct.
because next month they can upgrade. So encouraging
Absolutely.
them next month to upgrade and do the $99.97. Yeah.
I totally agree with that, Tammy. And this is one of the difference where maybe you're going to find out why are there some people moving up in rank and doing so well and making money. And well, we're giving you the strategies here. Sometimes, the temperature, to have the right temperature, is just that one little tweak to have the perfect temperature that will actually work for you. That's what we're talking about here. Okay. We don't have the do all be all answers to everything, but we kind of found what's the right temperature, and that's what we're sharing with you here, or the little things that you can keep in mind as you are sharing the information with the general public as you're building your business. So now I'm on the page here to register. So over here, that's when they put their business name or their name, whatever it is that they want to put there. Some, like I'm incorporated, so I put my business name here. And then from there, you have you put your email, the username and password, and you confirm the password, agree to the terms and conditions. And down here, this is your address. Okay. So it's very straightforward. The countries you can see here, there's many countries you can pick from. And then you put your phone number. Very simple. Okay. And before I get into the billing information, let's shift to the left here on the package summary. You can see here what you're getting. And I pay for it every single year, folks. This is what we call an insurance policy. Okay. So if something happens to the office where the servers are located, this is it's a backup version for a full year rather than 30 days. Okay. So if something happens, you know that your stuff, your precious moments, data is safe for a full year. So I recommend it. I think that's a wonderful deal. So that's why I would leave that check on, but it's an option for you. There's some people that just want to become a customer. They don't want necessarily build a business. Okay. They want to take advantage of 6 hours, and maybe one day they may want to upgrade, and that is not a big deal. But this is where you would choose to decide to check this on or off. Personally, folks, I think it's a great concept to make money by providing a cloud service. But some folks, they just want to have the service itself. You check that off. Look, the price just changed. So the 20 changes over here. Okay. Same thing over here. If someone is very tight or whatever the situation may be, but I recommend to leave these on by default. Okay. So this is the price that you pay once a year, folks. Once a year. That's it. That is very inexpensive to operate a business that can give you the kind of income possibility that we offer here in GotBackup. It's a great deal. Is there anything else you want to add to this, Tammy, before I get into the billing information?
No, it's very simple.
Cool. Okay. So from here, you have the option to pay in crypto or with a credit card. We know that in some countries, sometimes credit cards could be a bit of a problem, but we'll touch on the wallet. That we have an internal wallet that is very cool that you can utilize. We'll touch on that for someone that does not have a credit card, but they can pay you cash, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. Now, if they want to pay in crypto, then you just put your, you just go ahead and proceed to the checkout. Obviously, it's not going to let me go because I got to fill out all the information here. And then you would put your key, your handle, your crypto handle. And then from there, and you'll see there's so many different blockchain you can choose from. If you're not a crypto person, please dismiss all of this stuff. And I know some of you might be crypto folks. That's just for your information. Otherwise, you use the credit card information here, which is kind of what we've done for decades and decades. Pay through credit card payments. Okay, you just put information. Once the purchase is done, boom, you have access to your business and you are fully engaged, ready to make money with GotBackup. Okay, you don't have to wait for anything. Everything is instant, and that's what I love about this, folks. So let's move back
There's a
here.
question there, Chris.
Yep.
Michael was asking, does one earn 50% on the annual enterprise plan?
Yes, I believe that it's kind of rare. I haven't sold an enterprise, but I know some do. And I believe on month one, it's not exactly 50%, folks, because it is a lot of money.
I don't.
But it's definitely a good income. And you know what, Tammy, we need to get back to that. I think it's
I think he
uh,
was saying for. Let's get
I
back
think it's
on that.
40%, but
We'll
folks, it's
mention it next Saturday.
yeah, we will. Okay, because way, I mean, Tammy and I are used to deal with uh, mom and pops, people like us that are trying to make extra money. We don't silly deal with the enterprise, but of course, it's here. I know it's not 50%, but it's more than 25%. I know that for a fact. So it's really really good. Okay, so you do get awesome income here. Look at this price here. If you sign up people with enterprise packages. Okay, and I know there's some things that are coming in the near future that I know you're going to love. So let's go ahead and log in here. So I'm going to go ahead and log in. And again, familiarize yourself with the website, folks. The more aware you are on what is available, the more efficient you become when you're talking to a prospect. Okay. So right now, I'm in my back office. Now, from time to time, I'm going to shift over to the demo account because there are some information here that are very private. But the reason why I'm using this is because this is real live data. But there's some certain data that I can't really share with the general public because it's private information. But you can see here on the top, you can see your rank will be displayed over here. And the one thing I'd like to cover here is your support. Support is extremely, extremely important. Okay. And you need to understand how this works. So let me click on that. I'm going to click on support. And once it comes back, you get into this page. I just chose this picture here. Luz, actually, I think you're here. You're the one that sent us that picture from Puerto Rico. Really appreciated that. And I just figured it was fun. Okay. So what happens here is you can go obviously change your picture and everything else. And these are your tickets. Now, I'm a bit of a techie guy. I never needed any support. It's just something that I've done very well for but the fact is some of you may need the support and it's here for you. But you need to understand how the system works. If, for example, you need some support and you initiate a ticket, you create a ticket, you can see here the active tickets, the closed tickets. These are problems that were solved, and these are action required. Now, this is very important. You're aware of that. If, for example, you initiate a ticket, so you open a ticket, so I'm going to click on this button. Okay. And then you will put the title, the subject of the issue. Now, this is important. If it's urgent, put urgent here. But if it's not urgent, folks, it's kind of high or medium. Just use your common sense because the folks that are supporting your tickets, they want to make sure they attend the people that are urgently needing for something. So I do recommend to respect that. And these are the categories like bill, sell, commissions, anything that you have issues with or challenges with, it's all there. Okay. And then you put your message in here. If let's say there's some pictures that you want to add, you can upload them over here and you can add more files and so forth. Okay. And then you create your ticket. When you do that, then what's going to happen is, and look at this here, popular knowledge. You see, there's some things that you can click on and learn about the FAQ, right? So that's what I mean by be aware of your surrounding and what's available because it might help you resolve the problem a lot quicker than waiting for a response that's already described over here. So just keep that in mind. Okay. So let's carry on. Let me go back for a minute here. And let me go back again. Okay. So if you have some tickets open, it's going to be over here. Again, these are tickets that are resolved. And if let's say you're waiting for a response and you're expecting a phone call or expecting an email, folks, in today's society with online marketing, there are people from all over the world requesting information. That's the reason why you may not receive an email. First of all, emails often end up in people's spam. It's just the way the world works today. So what happens is you need to come back, re-log in and check what's going on over here. For example, I'm hosting a WordPress website. Some of you may be aware of this. If some of you may not, don't worry about it if you don't. And there's a lot of plugins you can buy to support your website. And for example, I use Elementor and I use other things. I use Body Boss, and it's like a Facebook thing. Anyway, my point here is that if you need help, it's exactly like this. They won't send me an email. What I have to log in and see what the response was, and then everything is there. So this is very standard, folks, and it's the same thing in GotBackup. You need to come back to your action required for you to see what is the response to issue you're dealing with, and they're very, very good, and they're doing an excellent job in responding very quickly. Okay. And I think where folks saying that I never got a response, it's because they're not aware that they have to go back and log in and check this out. Is there anything else you want to add to this, Tammy?
Not for that part, but since you're in the support section, Elizabeth had a question on if somebody comes in for the 997, does want to upgrade. I would just create a support ticket and just say, I want to upgrade for the year. And
Yes.
they have the credit card on the account. So they'll probably ask them if they want to use a card on the account, and bang, you're now upgraded. So I hope that
Exactly.
helps, Elizabeth.
Exactly. They're very, very good, folks. They're really,
Mhm.
really good. And just
Yeah.
be patient with the system, folks. Sometimes there's a lot of people right now. There's a lot of people coming in to GotBackup, and for that reason, sometimes new folks are concerned. You have questions, and so sometimes it might. That's why I mean the urgent is very important, and do respect that, folks. It's really important. Okay. So let's carry on. So now we talked about your support. Now here are different languages. This, by the way, it's a Google Translate. Okay, so it's not perfect, but I respect the fact that if let's say I'm French, that's my first language, by the way. I'm French. My second language is English, but because I speak English more than I speak French lately, so I'm better in English than French. But my point in saying here is that if I want to change the language, you can change it over here. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be the perfect language, but it's going to be clear enough for you to understand what's going on, what are the menus, what do they mean, or things like that. Okay. Another thing that's important here is your billing information. Again, this is private data here, folks, but this is where everything is there. If you want to know what you were billed for and what's been going on, you can see the history there. If you need that for your accounting, it's all there. I know when I deal with my accountant, often they want to see all my checks, all my incomes. I still say checks, but all my deposits. So it gives you a complete list, and everything is in there when you go to my business. Again, folks, this is very private data, but we've done some trainings in the past. In fact, I think it was a week ago or two. And in fact, while I'm talking about this, let me help you. If some of you might be new, you may not be aware of it. If you click on YouTube, okay, and I'm going to look for the channel of GVO, okay? So what's happening here, okay, let me just re-sign in. Just one moment. From time to time, it just kicks you out. Oh, here we go. Okay. So, okay, let's click on that. Come on, come on, come on, come on.
And while you're doing that there, Michael Andreas just put a comment that he had already asked that question, and it's 25% for the enterprise for the year for the 20 terabytes. So
Okay.
yeah, that's clear.
Okay, Andre, that's awesome. And thank you so much, because
Yeah, thank you.
like I said, we don't have all the answers of everything.
Mhm.
Okay, so from here, if I go ahead and I search for global opportunity, a global virtual opportunity. So I'm looking for the channel of GotBackup. So you can see it right over here. Okay, so I'm going to click on this. Okay, I'm going to cut and paste that. I'm going to put it into the chat for all of you to take note of it. Here we go. So I recommend that you take note of this. Okay. Obviously, it's go to youtube.com/@ global virtual opportunity. Okay. And take note of this. It's important, again, is to be aware of your surrounding and what's available to you. You'll notice that we've created some playlists in here. And under the playlist, there's different categories for you to click on to learn about things. For example, if you're new to GotBackup and you have some question about the compensation plan, and there's a lot of trainings that are available here. If you click on click the full playlist, you'll notice here. It's going to wait for. Here we go. So you can see that there is a lot of trainings that we've conducted. These are all our Saturday trainings here. Every single training we've done for the past 2 years are recorded. There's absolutely nothing missing. Everything you need. How to recruit 10 new resellers in 30 days. I mean, folks, Tammy and I have been doing this business for a long time, and we're doing a transcending memory dump on every single trainings we have, and they're here. Okay. And also, we do train on the VIP, and there's some awesome things that we do there. Again, that's something that's available in your back office if you want to really learn how to build a network marketing business, email marketing, all this. That's there. But back to the trainings, there's a lot of information. This is all free here, folks. Okay.
Mhm.
So, for example, here, mastering email marketing and content creation with GotBackup and ChatGPT. So we'll touch on that a little bit so you have an idea of what I mean by that. But there's some great trainings here. Making the first circle work. These are strategies on maximizing your results as you begin your business. Fundamental building strategy, handling objections. Here's another one that's really important that I do recommend for you to click on. Is the compensation plan. It's really going down there. We've done so many trainings. I know we've done one recently, but there's one that's really detailed. Here we go. A basic review of the no, that's yeah, of the upcoming no, that's not it. There's another one that's newer than that. And you can always do some search in there, but it's in here somewhere. Unlock. Here we go. This is it. Unlocking the GotBackup compensation plan. Okay, I'm going to copy this for you because this is, I believe, is important, because the more you are aware of what you need to do to maximize your income and GotBackup, and Tammy and I are big fan of duplication and educating the world on what you need to do. Okay, you need to
Simple
learn your. Yeah,
duplication.
go ahead, Tammy.
Simple duplication strategies. Yeah.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. You need to learn your ABCs.
Mhm.
Okay, to be able to read and write. And this is exactly what these trainings are all about. So there's a lot of information here. I'm just going to go back quickly before I turn back to our back office here. But you
Mhm.
can see here, this is a very simplified success cycle series. There's one that's a bit more detailed in the VIP pack, in the VIP option. These are 90-day campaigns. Some people want to build a business and they really want to get into momentum fast. This is a good place to spend time. These are virtual events that we've done in the past. And right now you can see here, there is one that is live. This is the current one we're doing. So if I click on that, I'm going to save that into the playlist, and I'm going to save that in, oh, I'm in the wrong. Okay, I'll do that a little later. So what's happening here is this training will be added on to this playlist. You can see on the playlist what I do. It's always the most current, the most recent training that we've done. That was the how to set up your payment and explore the My Business menu. This is a great area to spend a bit of time. That was last week on learning what it is that you need to do, first of all, to get paid. Once you start getting money into your holding tank, into the GotBackup back office, you want to be able to transfer that into your bank account. Okay. Or you can use the credit cards that are offered if you want to do that also. Okay. Which is in American dollars, folks. This is absolutely awesome. Okay. So let's carry on.
Yeah, I'm just
Uh,
going to answer a couple questions, Chris,
yeah.
as you go to the back office. Okay, so Michael was asking about the compensation. Michael, we're going to show you in the extra tools where the compensation plan PDF is. But to answer your question, if somebody comes in at the 997, the initial sign up for the 997 as a member, then you're going to get 200% upfront. So the 997, we round it off to 10, you're going to get $20.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll
And if
point that out for
somebody,
sure.
yeah. And if somebody decides they want to do yearly, then you're going to get 50% upfront. And so I hope that answers your question, Michael. And Heather was just saying that she couldn't download the link, which is
Okay.
fine. Heather, what you can do is go directly to YouTube and just click on Global Virtual Opportunities. And once you guys click on this for the first time, make sure you subscribe, because you want to make sure that you're getting notification on everything that's coming up. We're going to show you a few different things in the back office on things that are available from the company. There's a lot of team stuff going on right now, but the company itself, we're going to show you where you can access some stuff.
So I'm just giving you a little bit of a step to follow here is search for this in YouTube, global virtual opportunity. Okay.
Correct.
So Heather, if this is not something to download, it's a click as a reference to go where I want you to go online. Right.
Mhm.
So this is what it is here. But if it's not working for you for some reason, just search for that once you're in YouTube. Okay. And then it will end up exactly on that page. I'm going to go back to that page here and I'm going to remove the playlist for a minute. You're going to end up exactly on this page, and then you can see everything that's going on. And we have many presentations. The African community does an amazing presentation that's led by Dr. KOA. Phenomenal. You can see great attendance over here. We also have some Spanish versions. There's other events that are there. Everything is available here, folks. Okay. So spend some time familiarizing yourself. And remember, this call is recorded, folks. The same link you clicked on to be here this morning is recorded. So you can click on that link, and the next time you click on it, it won't be live, but it'll be the recorded version, just for your information. Okay. Anything else, Tammy, that we should cover before we get into maybe use this tool?
No, we're good. Let's move forward. Yeah.
Okay. So right now, hopefully my internet is good here this morning. So I'm going to click on use this tool. And I'm just going to create a new page so I don't lose that page here. So create a new tab. Here we go. Here we are. Okay. So I'm going to end up into the area where the tools are located. And this is very important, folks. As you build your business, if you want faster results, make sure that the new member that just signed up doesn't just fend for themselves. Some people are very intuitive, but it's not a majority. Some folks, they kind of need some direction, and that's totally cool. And I highly recommend, this is one of the reasons where Tammy and I do these trainings. We do sessions with folks, is because we want people to be oriented so they know where to go. So this here is very important. If someone just signed up, walk them through this section here on the GotBackup on use this tool, because these are the tools that will get people hooked to use a system for the long term. Think about it, folks. If you have 1.5 terabytes or 2 terabytes, like my drive is 2 terabytes on my computer. Yes, I know. I just get a lot of, I put a lot of stuff in there. But what's happening, and I'll show you in a minute, what's happening is everything is on my cloud. Now, I bought extra storage here, and the reason why is because I know that I use a lot, and you can certainly do the same. And you can see here that I'm using 56% on my cloud storage space. Okay. I'll come back to the auto login in a minute here, but what's important here, and this is the key, if you want to have success in GotBackup, folks, you want people to use the service. It's a fantastic service. I'm telling you, I'm really well organized with my data. And I love businesses, folks, but I also love to have my stuff safe. Everything, my accounting, everything is in there. So what's happening here is this is for Windows users and Mac users. And when you download those, I'm not going to do this because I don't want to mess up my settings here, but it's so simple. And if you're looking for an example of what to do, watch those installation videos. You can also click on the support.
Yeah, it's super simple to do. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just opening another tab over here. So, and by the way, folks, if you know how I'm doing this, I just right click and click on the link, and that's how I create a new tab so I don't lose that current page. And here we are. And there's all the different languages here. This is so cool. Everything is in here. There's nothing missing. Absolutely nothing missing. All this stuff is in there.
You've got written instructions for those who prefer written instructions. They don't want to go through a video because we all learn different. And so that is available in the different languages, as you can see.
Absolutely. So let me get rid of that for a moment. So these are the software for backing up your computer. And you know what's really awesome is you can back up. I have 3 computers. Why do I do this? It's another story. But I have a computer back home in Toronto, Canada, which is a PC. That computer is backed up. This computer right now that I'm using to broadcast, that computer is also backed up. And I have another one behind here that's, I do trading in there. I do equity and everything else that's detached from everything else. It's kind of isolated, and that is backed up. Okay. So this is, so I've used both apps and are working absolutely amazing. And just so you know the way it works, if you have not done that already, okay, if you click on the control panel, you have to right click. And something on the PC is kind of down here somewhere. There's a little arrow pointing upward. You click on that and you'll see that the icons that are running resident in memory, you can click on it and you right click on it and this will come up. Okay. You can see here that today is the 26th. At 8:43, there was a backup. You see right now, it's scanning my files and confirming what else do I need to back up. It does that forever. You don't have to monitor this. You can also access your cloud by clicking this link over here. And the first time that you run the software, it will prompt you for your ID and your password. That's the same ID and password that you log into your GotBackup Office will be prompted over here. Okay. And another thing that's really cool that was recently added, if you click on, let's see here, is it help and support? No, that's not it. That's not what I'm looking for. What was it again? What I wanted to show. Oh, yeah. You click on settings.
You're back to YouTube channel, Chris. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Hold on. Okay.
There we go.
So if you click on settings, okay, and you click on advanced, you can turn around and let's say you backed up multiple computers and some files are located on computer number 3. Well, you can choose. Obviously, I will have to log in here. Oops, I didn't put my password correctly. Hold on. That should be okay. Okay, you can see here, these, obviously the computer that it's currently backed up, it's not going to show it to me because it's currently active, but these are the other 2 computers that have backed up. I can choose to use these ones, okay, and access the data from these computers back to this one. And it's a little bit too technical for some of you. Just don't worry about it because some of you do have that information. You do need that information. Just wanted you that it's there. This is an awesome, folks, I don't know any backup company that offer you that much flexibility. Absolutely awesome.
And Chris, if you could go to the add a member, because that is something that, people ask often, how do I do that?
You mean add a member? What are we talking about, Tammy? I'm sorry.
That you want to share your storage, because not everybody uses 6
Oh.
If you want to add a family member to your account,
Got
you can. Yeah, you can add up. You can be 6 on one account.
So let's say
one has their own password, and you can select how much storage that you want to give that person.
Okay. So let's say here, I want to give him, 500 gigs, whatever that. Okay. Over here, then I can add a new member. Okay. So if I click on add a new member, then what's going to happen?
You didn't put a name.
Oh, sorry. Okay. So I have to put a username here for my member. Okay.
Just put Alex. Just put Alex, just for fun.
Okay. Okay. So that would be my daughter. And I would click on add a new member. So I click on that. And what's happening here, what's missing? Login already exists. Okay. Let's put.
Oh, that's why. Yeah.
Okay. Let's use that. That should be fine. So then I add a new member. Okay. There's probably a space here. Let's try that again. There we go. Okay. So what is happening here? It's going to take that space, okay, and it's going to take it out of my cloud, and now I can actually copy and share that invitation link. Okay. You can see here that I'm using, a lot of, because I have quite a bit. But what happens here is this is the, you would copy and share that information, and you can put that into an email and send it over to that person, and then you can log in, and then it will have access to the same information here for them to, install the software on using these tools like these over here, and also the mobile device. I'll come back to that in a minute. Just for the sake here, as I'm just going to go ahead and delete that because I don't want to overdo it. Okay. And let me refresh my screen.
So if you're a family with kids, I mean, it's a great opportunity to share some stuff and giving them some extra space.
Yeah. So I'm back to where I was. Okay. So just understand, folks, that you can share some space with family members, and it works very nicely. Now,
Mm.
let's say you want to install the mobile app. You can go in your back office and click on that, but what it's going to do is going to redirect you to the Apple Store or the Google Play Store. I recommend to skip that step and just go right into the Play Stores, look for GotBackup. And again, there's great videos over here, and every presentations that I know Tammy and I are conducting, we always play the video for your own education. Okay, and then from there, I just follow the instructions, and then everything is going to be backed up into your computer, into your cloud. Okay, it is really straightforward. If you forgot your ID and password and you're happy to be logged in, you just when you click on password, it's kind of remembers it, but you forgot what it was. You can click on edit login. Obviously, I'm not going to do it to expose my password for my cloud here, but clicking the I, it will expose your password so you can see it. Okay, and as simple as that. As simple as that. And of course, your ID is also there. Now, the last thing I want to mention here, is there anything else I should cover here, Tammy? And before I move on to the auto login?
No, I think that's pretty clear on this page. So while you transition, Chris, I just want to make sure we're caught up on some of the questions that were asked.
Mhm.
And Bakshir was asking, is any earnings different between monthly and yearly for the GotBackup payment? No, it's the same compensation plan is for everybody, whether
Correct.
you decide you're going to pay monthly or yearly. So, Bruce, what did you ask here? What if one person starts with Windows and then they change to Mac?
Totally cool. As a matter of fact, I've done both, and I'm going to show you that right now. Is there any other question we can cover, Tammy, before I get into that?
You can jump into it because there are more questions, and yeah.
Okay. So let me just do that. So right now, if you click on auto login, and there's many ways for you to get to your cloud. If you recall, one of the ways, I'm going to be, again, bring this up here. One of the ways you can click on this link, it will take you here, or you can click on this button. It will take you here, or you can go right into your browser and just type in gbucloud.com. I'll show it to you now. gbucloud.com. Okay. And it didn't prompt me for my ID and password because it remembers I've already put it in. You can see here that the same information that the back office shows you, I have 7 terabytes and I'm using 3.9 terabytes out of it. And here on my computer, so to answer your question, I think it was Bakshir or someone else.
Yeah.
This is a PC.
Oh no, Bruce. Yeah.
Bruce, you can see the icon. That's a PC backup. That's an Apple backup. That's an Apple backup. Remember earlier I was showing you that if you click on this little button here, open it, and you go under settings, and then I went to advanced, select different computers. Well, these are you probably recall that this and this were showing. Okay, so I can actually access these backups and access the data that's stored into the cloud back to my computer. And I do recommend that if you click on the restore files, I'm not going to click on that right now, but all the details are there, folks. All the details are there. And as a matter of fact, over here, when you click on restore, it will just prompt you with the same link that I shared with you earlier, and exactly what you need to do to restore, right? It's saying these are incremental backups. Some of you has a Mac with what we call time capsule, and you see timestamps, and you can choose which date you want. Well, every hour, there's a backup there. You can choose the date and time and the hour that you want. You know that you delete some files by mistake and you want them back. Then you select the proper time and the proper timestamp. And then from there, once it's done, it's going to show you all the files that are backed up. And then from here, you can select, okay, I want this CrossFit directory back in here. And then you say, okay, where do you want it? Yes, I want it into my local drive. It's going to prompt you to log in to make sure that it is you that are taking information there from the cloud. And that's it. That's all there is to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you just answered Carol's question by just showing what you were showing. So
Okay.
This is great. So yes, you can restore any file you want, Carol.
There's something that's coming, guys, that's super, super, super exciting. Okay. So let me go back to my cloud here. Okay. Now you noticed here that you're not going to see that button here there, folks. Not yet, but it's coming very, very, very soon. The reason why you see on mine is because I've been testing this feature. You can see I have 1.6 terabyte. Okay. And what's happening here, this is this particular computer. And you remember earlier I was showing you here, again, I just want to bring you back to this instance where I can restore my files, but you can now also access your files directly from this button. Boom. Isn't that awesome? So you click on users. That's my account. That's happened to be my Mac. And this is my computer. This is everything. My desktop, my documents, my download, everything is in here. Music, pictures, my libraries, everything is in there. Okay. So just wanted to show you that this is coming, folks. Okay. This is a really cool feature, but I wanted to remind you that you won't see this button yet. You're just going to see what I'm seeing here. And just be careful with this delete, because it will delete that instance of the backup. And then from there, you can that's why that 997 is very important, because there's a backup for a year. This is an insurance policy, right? So this is really cool. But anyway, let me come back to that. The answer is, you see, this is a Mac, and these are two. Excuse me, this is a PC, and these are two Macs. Okay, so I hope this helps out. And what I like about the cloud is you can go right into, for example, your phone device. Now, because I have an iPhone, it says iPhone upload. If you have an Android, it will say Android upload. And when you click on this, you can see here that I have all these years. I'm going to go to 2024 because it's a complete year. It goes from January to December. Every single pictures I took with my cell phones and videos are stored over here. If I go back to 2025, well, obviously we are in the month of April right now. The moment the month of May starts, I take pictures every single, well, maybe not every day, but at least every week. There's for sure pictures in here. Then you will see that the 2025 in the month of May will appear, and it will keep adding stuff in there. That's what we say to set and forget. Once everything is running, folks, the software does its work. So there's two pieces of hard software that I'm running. The one that's in my phone device, okay, this one here, and the one that's running on this computer. And these two are working, and they keep adding information to my cloud. This here is a collaborate and share. Very, very cool feature. I'm just going to do a quick little example here. I'm going to minimize this window just a little bit so I can open another one. Okay. And I'm going to go to my local drive here. I'm going to open. My computer is a little bit slow right now. It'll come right in. In fact, I just bought a brand new computer right now, a brand new Mac. Is it coming?
It's coming, I think, May 7th. So this one's a little bit slow.
Yeah, it's a 2018
an upgrade
folks,
of speed.
Okay, let's just do that. Okay, here we go. So here we go. So from here, let's say I want to collaborate and share. So I can drag a file. See, this is my local computer. This is my cloud. Now, I never put anything into the root of my cloud because I like to keep things clean. But for the sake of this example, I'm just going to drag this file right into the window of my cloud. Look what happens. I drop it, and it does an automatic upload. That is so cool. So from there, once it's here, which you can see it over here, let me just get rid of that. Okay, I can double click on this. Okay, that's just some log file from something that's been running, and now I can actually do some modification. Obviously, that could be a PowerPoint, it could be anything. But what's really cool here is I can turn around. If I click the share button and I make this link available to you, for the sake of time, we're not going to go there because I've done other trainings that are recorded that has that. If I click the share button and I share it with you, every single one of you can see what I'm doing. If I turn around and I turn this and I say, I want this to be yellow, all of you will see that as yellow. And you'll see in some trainings that I've done that. And it's very, very, very cool. This is, you see, this is what I mean, folks. People don't realize what you get for the $997, folks. I'm telling you that competitors, you have to pay extra for a lot of these things. And that does not even include the fact that we didn't even talk about the marketing material to build your business. Folks, it's amazing what we got here. That's why we do these trainings, to put an hourglass around what GotBackup offers for you to see the list of everything that's available. Okay, so let me put this back to the way it was. I want this to be with no fill. Here we go. Okay. So from there, you can see here
that we have 10 minutes. I just given you a
okay,
time.
sounds good. Okay, so let me get rid of that. So I don't want this. Boom, it's gone. And they'll end up into my trash. Okay, so it's still there, but it's in my trash. You can get rid of it there. Okay, so let me go back. And the rest is really simple, folks, on the tools that are available. Let me get rid of that. Let me get rid of this, this, and let's go back to our back office here. Okay, Tammy, let's walk people through the reseller tools because, folks, to make money, you know what? Before we do this, I'm going to take a second. If you go to your extra promotional promo
Yeah,
tool,
yeah, exactly.
okay. If you go, obviously there's others
Open
here,
the
but
files, you guys. That's how you learn. Open file folders, see what's there for you to access and to leverage.
yes. For example, some of you want to learn the compensation plan through a PDF document. It's right here. You may do business with people that are seasoned network marketers and they're looking for this. This
Mhm.
is where you get it. Okay, and you can actually take this file over here, and you can download it on your computer and share it with someone else. But something that's very, very important here, and I'm not going to go through the comp plan today because we have trainings that have all this, but I'm going to go to the bottom of my page. And Tammy, why don't we focus on the 4 benchmark? Because, folks, this is where you need to do right now to start duplicating with your team. Back to you, Tammy.
Yeah, so this is our strategy in building the network. Okay, so you got the 4 benchmarks, and the goal is to build out coppers. What's a copper? One left, one right. Okay, so that's why number 1, it shows you to enroll one on the left and one on the right, and then you're going to hit copper. And if you can hit copper, you can teach anybody how to hit copper, right? So number 2 is to go ahead and enroll a couple more people. Put left and right. Our building strategy is left and right. I know some people have built this business where you build one leg, I'll build the other. That is not the way to build this business. If you want to succeed and build up leaders left and right, you build a 2-team structure. Everybody builds a 2-team structure, and you'll see your teams will grow massively by doing this. And do you want to add anything to that, Chris?
The one thing I just want to mention here is the benchmark. See, for you to qualify to start earning your cycles, you need to have one on the left, one on the right. Why are we teaching you to repeat the process? Okay, so the one thing here is I'm not going to go through the comp plan here, and we have some trainings that explain all of that. But you can see that also in your back office in your GotBackup business. But the thing is, we want to help you maximize the comp plan all the way up to Emerald, because that's when you start getting some really nice checks with GotBackup as your and the reason why you make good checks is because your business is being duplicated by the new people coming in. And if you notice here, getting your first 10, we share this immediately, not in 6 months from now, but right away. Of course, you're going to start by sponsoring one, but the reason is that once you've accomplished that, you are qualified to start earning to enroll once you meet these conditions. So you need to have 10 people. You need to have 2 on your left, 2 on your right. Look, this has remained all the way up to Black Diamond. The difference here is, what does that mean? The enrollment tree, these are the lines that are built from the people that you sponsored. And I'm not going to go beyond that, but the fact here is what it says is you need to have 6 people that are copper. Copper is someone that sponsors someone on the left, someone on the right. Okay. And so the key here is that if everybody turns around and sponsor 2 on the left, 2 on the right, folks, this is going to go very fast. And there's 100 people on your team. This is not you bringing 100 people. This is the combined effort. You know, have you ever worked with a team where there's 10 people working and 10 people are lifting things to bring from point A to point B? It's amazing how many items are going to move in a very short period of time. That is the power of team. And if it's duplicated, folks, this is how people become successful in network marketing, by duplicating a simple step that everybody can handle, but many people are doing. That's called leverage. That's why I love the industry of network marketing. So I'll stop on that note, but this is the reason why, if I go back over here into the 4 benchmark, is we encourage you to personally sponsor 10 people.
Yeah.
So at least 25 people. You didn't bring 25 people here, folks. This is the team that are bringing 25 people by duplicating these steps over here.
Yeah. So 3 is to build a user team of 25 plus people. And the goal is to get as many people as you can into copper. Once they're copper, they're going to build their own coppers. It's all
That's
about
exactly
duplication. It's not about you doing all the work. And so, you want to go get this, the 4 benchmarks and duplicate that with every single person you bring in.
and
And if you do
venture
that,
into
you're
these.
going to grow so fast in this business.
Yes, and venture into these directories, folks, with different
Yeah.
languages, and see what's available. This is what I meant earlier. There's a lot of good information here that's
Mhm.
available from your back office. Okay.
Yeah.
Now we have 7 minutes to the top of the hour. Let's get into the reseller tools, because this is where you should be aware of what's available to you. Okay. So let me just wait till this gets there. Here we go. So Tammy, let's cover the reasoning behind which link do you want to send to a prospect.
Okay, so the very first one on the left that you see, that's people who want information. So you'd send your personal link, you just copy that link and send that to somebody. And you've got some on the top bar. Chris, just go up a bit so you can see you've got some ad copies that you can just play with and look at. Some of it, you might want to customize, just copy it, put it in Chat GPT. You're going to see that your personal links are attached to that. And you can leverage some of this stuff. But go back to the links, Chris, because we just have a few more minutes. And then I want to make sure that we answer the rest of the questions as well. And then the one on the right, top right, Chris shared with you, that just takes them directly to sign up. Okay, so if you're just talking to people and they say, hey, listen, I'm interested, send them that link. Okay, if they're ready to sign up, send them that link. If they just want to get some information, send them the link on the top left. And scroll down a bit. Okay, so on the mid left, you've got the webinars. So if you want to invite somebody to the company webinars to get more information, that's the copy link that you send to anybody who wants to show up to a webinar. And I highly recommend to leverage these, you guys, because they're going to sell themselves getting their information. You don't have to be that person giving all the information. You just send them a link to go check it out, right? And if they see value, they're going to position themselves and get signed up. Okay, so that's the link for that. So you can go back.
Sorry, Tammy, I'm clicking away here.
You're all over the place.
Yeah.
Okay, go down. Yeah, so these are some ad copies on the right side. For those of you who are creating ad copies, you have your links there. And keep going down, Chris. You've got a couple of links at the bottom. That was pretty recent. I forget how, maybe a couple months ago. Go down on the bottom, very bottom. And these are 2 choices. And what I highly recommend everybody to do, don't just copy and send a link. Click on your links and know what you're sending them. That's really important because you might prefer, like here you have 2 choices for the free trial, 7-day free trial. You have 2 choices. One, you may think, this one is so much better for the person that you're going to send it to. We all have our choices, right? And they're just, one's cartoon and one is more of the human connection. All right. So that's the 2 different choices that you could leverage.
And Oh, sorry, Tammy. What I like about these, if someone is skeptical, they don't want to put their credit cards until they know that this is going to work for them. This is a great alternative because remember, if someone want to start right now, folks, just go ahead with the link on the far right that I mentioned earlier. Again, I just want to point out this link that it's available just right over here. This is someone that wants to sign up right away. But someone that's skeptical and on the fence, give them an opportunity to say, try this for 7 days for free. Right? They click on that. There's no credit card requirements here, folks. They just put the information and then they will have access to this back office that you have here. And with not all that information, but definitely have access to use this tool to start installing it and start backing up their stuff. And if they start backing up their stuff and everything went well, everything should go well if you follow the instructions. Well, that's when it's easy. And that's really cool is there's a feature that's available with this. When you start your Got Backup, you probably noticed that there was a bit of upsells to buy those 20 emails prepared for you. Well, those emails are very interesting. And we talked about it in past trainings that we've done into the email marketing things. That after 7 days, it's going to start sending them information to say, hey, are you ready to activate? So the system is automated to help you build your business by having the system do the work for you. Okay. And if
Yeah,
I'm
they
getting
actually have, Chris, they actually, because we purchased it when we launched this 7-day free trial, there's 7 emails. And I believe there was 5 different languages of campaigns that you can use.
correct.
And if you want those emails, I highly recommend to just send a support ticket and keep everything really simple. Automation is the way to go in today's world of networking. So you can purchase, and you purchase it one time, it's in your back office, and you have an automated system for your 7-day free trial.
When you click on Marketplace, okay,
Is it there,
this is
Chris?
where now for me you're not going to see it. Sorry, over here.
Yeah,
You're not
because
going to
we
see
already
it. Because
purchased
I already purchased it. Okay.
it. May
But
be.
again, these are all the different things that are available to you. I kind of purchase almost everything that I need to build my business, but that's where you find stuff that you need. Okay.
Yeah.
So back to the link over here. Yeah. So everything is there. So
Yeah.
what's important here, folks, is that you get started. And by the way, I know there was a question about this. You can add your PowerPoints and your Excel spreadsheets. Yes, everything. I mean, if the file exists in your drive, it doesn't matter what format it is, what it is. It's just going to be transported automatically. It's all going to be there. So I hope that answers the question. I know we have about one more minute here, Tammy, but is there anything here? And thank you very much, Dr. KOA. I appreciate that. And thank you so much, everybody. And by the way, it is my name associated with the account, but my wife and I are building this together. Just want you to know, I wouldn't be here without my wife and putting all the work together to build these. Just started making this out loud. But okay, so let's carry on here. Tammy, is there anything else that we should cover? And these here, like my business, last weekend we covered that. In the past, we talked about some of the VIP, but there's some new things coming in. We didn't really talk about the internal wallet. Did you want to spend a minute on that before we end?
Yeah, I think we already did that in the My Business
Yes, we
training,
did.
but we can go more into detail with that one next week, Chris.
Yes.
There's a FAQ because every week we're gonna repeat things. So for those of you who, I recommend to keep showing up until you really get this stuff and you can teach it yourself. There's an FAQ section. If there's a question that you have that's not in there, contact support. Just ask them questions. That's what they're there for. And remember that you're not going to get emails. They're going to respond in that section of the support tickets. Okay. Let me see. I think next week, you know what? Next week, we're going to go through the recognition, because I think that one is really important. The moment you sign somebody up, recognition is critical. There's welcome flyers. There's for your members as they grow in ranks. And I recommend to be part of the Facebook group, because you want to recognize your people in the Facebook group. Everybody has their own platforms, whether it's Telegram or WhatsApp or whatever platform they have with their teams. But the company, they do have a Facebook group. I recommend you get part of that. And I think that's about it. I just want to make sure everybody's questions were answered on the side here.
I just want to point this out here. I guess, I'm logged in as a different. Okay. There we go. I have multiple pages and stuff. But what's really cool here, folks, is this is a great community. And I just want to touch a little bit on the Telegram groups. So everybody knows what's going on. But you can see here that everything is available, and you can access all of this here from from the group. Okay, so it's really, really important. There's lots of information here that's available to help you build a business within the community. So this is where you really want to spend some time. And one thing I wanted to mention here, before here, you probably remember that we used to have, let's see here, we used to have the Telegram group here. The reason this was there, I just want to give you guys an idea of what's happening and why it was there. Um, I created this Telegram group way back at the beginning. And Tammy and I find out there was a lot of orphans in GotBackup. We'll learn this note here. There was a lot of orphans in GotBackup, people that sponsored them and maybe they moved on, and people are looking for support. And I created this group to create a community to help you build your business. But over time, what's happening is people thought that was customer service. They were asking customer service questions that we can't answer because we're not customer service. We're here to help you build a business. So when Joel asked me if that would be okay to share, I said, sure, absolutely. But then we realized that it was confusing to folks. So I took over this group here, and again, the goal is to be sensitive to all the different teams in there, and to make sure that you're aware of events, people that are being recognized, and support, and things that you need when it comes to building your business. But when it comes to supporting with, I don't know how to install my software, this is not working, there's an issue with this, because we understand that every computer has its own blueprint. And sometimes there's things that you have installed there that may block certain things because you have some piracy, software issue to protect. And because of that, sometimes some things it needs to be done. And that's where the customer service can come and help you. Okay. And for that reason, we removed it from here, but the group is still existing. And Tammy and I are constantly putting there. I have a couple leaders that are building their businesses, that have teams. If people have a strong team and they respect the community, then of course they're going to have access to be able to share within that community. And that's really, really important. But the fact here is it's not a corporate Telegram group. It is a group I created to support the team, because Tammy and I really, really want to help you. Doesn't matter what team you're part of. We've always built our businesses that way. I remember years ago, people used to call me the Salvation Army guy, because I would help sidelines, uplines, downlines, the company. And I've always helped. Tammy and I have always been that way. And I find that it creates great karma. But it's not just that, is we want people to succeed. Generally, we want people to succeed. In fact, we wrote a book called The Freedom Formula, Breaking the Cycle of Poverty. We really mean what we're saying. We even wrote a book on it, on how to help people succeed. What are the things, the struggle we went through, and all of these things. So just to understand where this come from, and these Saturday trainings are here every single week to help you. And we're focusing on the GotBackup tools and features to help you build your business to maximize your results. And folks, you will make good money with GotBackup if you follow the guidelines that are the right duplicatable activities. And for people that love to sell, the CAB, the commission, the customer acquisition bonus, it's an awesome bonus. Folks, 50% out of $100, if I may round it out, because it's $99.97. Let's round off to $100. This is amazing. 50% they're giving you on month one when the person decides to become an associate. And that's the reason why we have people, a lot of affiliates that are coming on board, because the money is really good on the upfront. But on the back end, if you start duplicating and building your business by duplicating the right activities, that is when your income will grow, because you're going to move up in rank. And it's one of the reasons where some of you are diamond, double diamond, and some are going to see some triple diamonds and blue diamonds and red diamonds and black diamond. That's because you are applying the right activities of duplicating. And the last point is, remember, Dropbox has over 700 million users. They've done well for themselves. Now put GotBackup in this equation. Look at the potential that we all have here, folks. Look at the big picture. And this is exactly what Tammy and I are doing. And that's why we're very, very excited about this. So Tammy, as we end, any last words?
We're here every Saturday, and get familiar with your back office. Any questions you have, prepare them for the following Saturday. Now, next Saturday, from what I'm understanding, it's going to be another special call to do a launch. So we're super excited. Just plug in on Saturdays. That's the key. Show up on Saturdays. It's an hour of your week to learn and grow. If you're going to be in business and you want to grow a business, you need to know what's happening. You need to be up to speed and to be able to help all of your team members grow and get as many people on these sessions. So it's not just about you learning, it's about everybody learning. The more people are learning, then the faster your teams are going to duplicate. Okay. Show up, learn, show up, and bring your guests. And not only are you going to learn, you're going to earn so much faster. Because sometimes people get on these trainings and they get this aha moment and they're on fire. They're literally on fire. And that's the goal, is to get people on fire, to really understand what they have in their hands so that they can run for the week until they get on the next Saturday session, where we're going to put them on fire again and grow and grow and grow. So we're super excited to be here. We're super excited to have every single one of you here. And yeah, just keep up the great work, you guys. That's the key. Just move forward every single day and watch your organizations grow.
Yeah. And folks, the reason why I'm not mentioning where you can find my book is this is not self-serving here.
No.
This is not my team. This is the corporate organization. I want to be very respectful of that.
Yes.
So it's important here, folks, that, as you do trainings like this and things, that we're always very generic and we don't self-serve by selling ourselves. And that's, you can Google this stuff, folks, and you'll figure it out. Okay. So listen, have yourself a wonderful, wonderful rest of your weekend. This coming Wednesday, folks, Tammy and I are going to be doing the usual end of week presentation. And I really recommend, folks, that you invite your guests, because it's a presentation that is designed to educate on the opportunity and a little bit of a demo at the end of how to maximize or how to use the cloud storage so people can get an idea of how this works. So take advantage of these. And I know that we have other presenters that they're promoting within their own respective groups, and to help you be aware of where you can find a presentation, folks. And again, remember, you can go to the cloud store, you can go to the YouTube channel on the GVO channel, and there is present, everything is recorded here. You have different languages, different cultures. It's wonderful what we have available there. Be aware of your surrounding, and the more you are, the more efficient you will become. So have yourself a wonderful rest of your weekend. Thank you for the wonderful feedback, folks, and really appreciate you. We love you. We want you to succeed. Just show up for class, but more importantly, take action of what you learn. This is how you will evolve. Have yourself a great one.
Take care. We'll see you on the webinars.